You are currently listening to a Suffolk Free Radio podcast. The views and opinions expressed on the record are the views and opinions of the show personalities only, and do not reflect those of Suffolk University, Suffolk Free Radio, or those at the Student Leadership and Involvement Office. Adult language may be used, so listener discretion is advised.
Hold on. We need a cold opening.
This is it. It's just all of this.
The Oscar goes to Emma Stone, La La Land.
And the Oscar goes to, alrighty, by a nose, Nicole Kidman.
Hi, welcome to the On the Record podcast, starring Emma and Nikki. I'm so sorry that you're listening to this right now. You want to say anything first?
Yeah, I also apologize. I don't know what's happening right now, but we're doing it, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, so the first episode is just going to be like a little intro to us, to ourselves.
Yeah.
What we're doing, our opinions that you definitely asked for. Because we're experts on anything.
We're qualified.
And everything. Totally. We go to the movies a lot, in case you haven't noticed. And in case you're one of the, 2 viewers not on our private Snapchat stories. Yeah, so that's it.
We're from New Jersey, so you can make fun of that.
Oh, yeah, we probably have an accent.
Mm-hmm.
I really can't tell anymore.
Yeah.
What's your zodiac sign, Nikki?
I'm a Scorpio? Yeah, I'm a Scorpio.
Do you know what your rising and moon are?
No clue.
Ooh, okay. Everybody listening, judge me. I'm a Virgo sun with a Leo moon, a Libra rising. So I'm probably super pretentious, hence my involvement in this podcast.
I have no clue what any of that means.
Yeah, I don't really know either, but I like to think that I do.
That's good.
It's part of the pretentious brand.
It is part of it.
It is part of it.
Okay. Well, do we want to start off with some icebreakers?
Yeah, so you guys can get to know us. Again, if
Which
you're one
everyone
of the
wants
two
to do.
people not on our private Snapchat stories.
Yeah.
So Nikki and I are going to go back and forth, asking each other very specific and weirdly written icebreakers that we.
And we could both answer the question.
Of course. I want to. Okay. So.
You go first.
Okay. So this is more of a serious one.
Oh, great.
If you could have one director remake any one film, what would it be and why?
Ooh.
I know my answer already.
You go first.
I would like to see a Baz Luhrmann remake of Titanic because I think that would just be hysterical.
That would be really good.
Call
That
me
would
a
be
genius.
awful. It's like spiraling and
It's like spiraling as like My Heart Will Go On is playing. He's just like swirling in like flashes of like life and stuff. Yeah.
because the Titanic movie is too accurate.
Of course. Listen.
I think I would have Damien Chazelle direct High School Musical.
That is iconic.
Yeah.
All the primary colors.
All the primary colors.
All the primary colors.
Because, I mean, it would be perfect.
Of course.
It would be the perfect movie.
I agree.
I'll write
Oscar
to him.
winner.
I'll write to him and he'll get back.
Agreed. All
We'll
right.
have him on the pod.
What's your question?
Okay. What's your favorite type of chair?
Okay. So are we asking this question in the context of what I think is the most entertaining or what I think is...
Entertaining?
Yeah, because I would say spinny chairs. I really like spinny
That's
chairs.
fair, yeah.
But at the same time, as somebody who really does lead a very sedentary life, I would say I do love an armchair. So...
Because an easy answer is, like, the AMC recliners. Because those are just so nice, and you could just... I remember, like, almost falling asleep during the third Night at the Museum movie, and just, like, existing in the armchair.
Yeah, but they break all the time.
They do.
They're always broken.
But also a nice ottoman. It's nice.
It's true.
Like the long ones that look like it could be a dog bed, but for
Dog
humans.
bed.
Yeah.
Okay. My next question number 2. What type of sport ball would you like to be?
Would I like to be?
Yes.
Wow. I think that I would like to be a sport ball.
Well, I don't want to say what type of ball would you like to be.
A shot put.
Fascinating.
No, it's not.
No, I feel, well, that was unexpected.
No, yeah, because I'm thinking about it, and it just seems more fun and compact, like, it's like the Evel Knievel of sports balls. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's yours?
Definitely a bowling ball. I feel like as a person, I'm just...
You are a bowling ball.
Yes, I'm also just very interested in what happens after death and what happens after the bowling ball hits the pins and, like, slides under and comes back up. What does that journey look like?
It's very existential.
Yeah, I would love to live that life.
Rebirth.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Jesus
then you get
Christ.
to see those, like, little animations whenever someone gets a strike.
Yeah, and it's, like, Shrek eating, like, a pizza or something. I don't know.
My favorite one.
Well,
It's my
first one I
favorite
thought of. All right. Your next question.
What aspect of high school haunts you the most?
Ooh, I think... Oh, it's a really tough question.
I know there's a lot to choose from.
Yeah, I'm really embarrassed by a lot of things. I think just the entire first 2 years with my braces was, like, a really dark time. I think the one that actually haunts me the most, I probably shouldn't say on this podcast. So, yeah, I guess either, like, my braces era or my, like, super, like, heavy political I'm gonna argue with you about everything phase. Not because I regret anything that I stood for, but because was it really worth it getting into all those arguments?
It was your investigative journalism.
I was so emotionally drained during the quarantine thing. So, yeah, I think those two probably.
That's fair.
What are
Mine's
yours?
much more lighthearted in the way that it just haunts me,
Yeah.
but not exactly negative. I remember in junior year, the last day of school, everyone was posting, they were like, Pipple bathroom, and there was one bathroom in the hallway that was closed off, and when I went inside, there was a toilet and has Mr. Worldwide's face on the top of it.
I remember the Pipple shrine. It was the F-wing bathroom, right?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just, like, think about that. I wake up sweating about the Pipple bathroom.
No, I changed my answer from all of those things.
Oh, boy.
I, like, literally just remembered this because I repressed it. During play rehearsal sophomore year, I yelled at an incorrect moment. Like, we were supposed to be cheering on the baseball players, and I did not time my yell correctly, and I was the only person who yelled in the middle of this otherwise entirely quiet cafetorium, and it was single-handedly the most embarrassing moment of my entire life, and I regret that to this day. I don't think anybody else
You
remembers
said,
it.
yay, sports.
I went, woo! And it was so embarrassing.
Okay. Your next question.
You're gonna love this one.
Oh, great.
What's your favorite part of Titanic?
I'm trying to think if there is one. I mean, I like throughout the entire thing just pretending. I forget his name. The bad guy.
Cal?
Yeah. I just think of him, but, like, from Back to the Future. And I consider that his character in the entire movie, so I like that.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, it's kind of hard to not enjoy when Jack and Rose go into the basement and they're just spinning with each other.
Oh, yeah, and, like, the camera's only on, like, one
It's
of them.
the worst.
Yeah. Okay, I'd say I have a couple favorite parts, and they're all boiled down to quotes. One of them being, "You're so stupid, Rose!" that was my Leonardo DiCaprio.
We're not theater majors either.
Well, I tried to be. Kidding. That was in the style of Leonardo DiCaprio. And then it's right after Cal goes to shoot Jack and Rose for some reason, and the boat is sinking.
Mm-hmm.
And he misses wildly for whatever reason, and he goes, "Enjoy your time together!" And I think it's iconic.
That is iconic.
Also, the part when all the musicians are like, "Oh, let's quit!" And then the one guy's like, "We're gonna die anyway," and they're like, "You know what, dude, so right?" And they just start playing again. Like, that's dedication, and I admire that.
That is.
Yeah.
That's a solid question.
Thank you. I tried.
Yeah. So if there was, like, a mirror dimension version of you, like, in the multiverse, what do you think they're allergic to?
What am I not allergic to is the question.
It could be something that you're allergic to right now.
I mean, I like to think that there's a mirror version of me that isn't allergic to anything. That can eat bread without wanting to, die. I don't know. I feel like there's got to be, like, a mirror version of me that's, like, weirdly allergic to, like, grass or something. I don't know.
That makes sense.
What about you?
I know in my heart that I am allergic to soy in another dimension.
That makes a lot of sense.
Does it?
Yeah.
I don't know why, I just feel like I am.
I also feel like you have hazelnut energy. Like, I feel like you're gonna be, like, allergic to hazelnut.
I don't know what to make of that.
I don't know either, but it's just something I feel in my gut.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It wasn't like a diss. It's just what it is.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
No, it's like how you look at some people, like specific people that I won't name right now, and I'm like, I feel like you look like you have a peanut allergy.
Yeah. I feel like you look like you can't swim.
It's like all of those tweets that are like, I don't know what this means, but if anyone were to get rabies, it looks like it would be you.
Yeah. And it's always people that look like they would get
Yeah.
rabies. Yeah, they're always right.
It's just
always
something-
spot on.
Some people just have the peanut allergy face.
Yeah.
So sue me.
I always feel like it's people who are, like, more angular.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like angular is more peanut and rounder is more, like, soy and dairy. I'm just saying.
Sure.
I'm just
Yeah.
putting that out there. Right. If you were a niche element on the periodic table of elements, what would you be?
I thought immediately Xenon.
Not Xenon, like,
As in, like,
warrior
girl-
princess? Or, no,
girl from the-
Xenon.
I was thinking the girl from the 21st
That's
century.
what I meant, like the Disney movie.
Yeah, that was my instinct.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm a rubidium girly. It's just, I don't know
That
why.
makes sense.
I just feel like a rubidium.
Or like Xenon.
Yeah. Xenon and rubidium.
Xenon.
Xenon.
Neon. Noble gas.
I kind of heart the noble gases. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, I heart them.
They're fun.
Yeah. What's, like, what are the other noble gases? It's like,
We can't name like
Yeah,
argon.
wait, hydrogen, helium, beryllium, boron, carbon.
We are not women in STEM.
Yeah, no, we're journalism majors. Oh, yeah, we didn't say that. Oh, well.
We're journalism majors. We should be in film, but we're not. We haven't reached that point
We'd
yet.
be really good extras, I feel like.
I mean,
I feel like we would pull attention. So
I think we could.
Like, textbook definition, we'd be really bad extras, but I feel like we would have a lot of fun being extras.
That would be great. Even if we got cut out of the final film, it would be okay.
Literally.
Okay. Who has the most blackmail on you?
Oh, like specifically people-wise?
Yeah.
Probably Emma Brubaker. I mean, I feel like my mom knows a lot, but, like, at that point, like, she's my mom's, like, who else is she gonna use it against? You know? Like, who, you know?
You never know.
Like, I don't think she would arrest me or anything or, like, have me arrested.
But she could.
Yeah, honestly, I'd probably go with Brubaker. I feel like she's seen me at a lot of, like, manic moments. I've said a lot of weird stuff. What about you?
I would say Megan.
Ooh, yeah.
Megan Mulholland, because she's seen it all. Like, since kindergarten, she's seen it all.
Yeah.
But, like, recently also Alexa. She sees me at my moments. Here, like, my
Facts.
roommate, she's seen a lot.
She's been through it with you.
She's been through
She's
it.
been through the ringer with
We've
you.
seen each other. We can't rat each other out, to be honest.
All right. Finally, it's my final question. So, if you were a celebrity controlling a Muppet, which celebrity and which Muppet would you pick?
Darren Criss.
Okay.
In the episode of Glee when they do What Does the Fox Say?
The worst episode.
Not
ever
actually,
created.
though. Not
Okay,
actually.
yeah.
I would be Jennifer Coolidge,
God.
Fozzie Bear.
That's pretty iconic.
It's the only matchup that makes perfect sense.
Okay. I don't know if this necessarily represents me, but I'm really kind of into the idea of Laura Dern and Snuffleupagus.
I thought of Laura Dern.
That's iconic. Laura Dern and Snuffleupagus, I think, would be really good.
Happy birthday, Laura Dern.
Oh yeah, happy
yesterday.
birthday, Laura Dern. And oh my God, wait, I said some Muppet. In
For
class.
some reason, I thought of Seal as Gonzo. Like, you know, the guy that
That's
sings
iconic.
Kiss from
Yes, I know
a
who
Rose.
Seal is. Wait, what Muppet did I say? We had to like. Oh. Jennifer Coolidge
Yes.
as a new Muppet, the Swedish Chef's wife.
Oh my God.
I feel like that
That would be so good.
That's so Emerson.
That is so Emerson.
That is so Emerson.
No, I like, yeah.
Thank you.
That
Thank
makes
you.
sense.
Creative.
Okay, my last question, and the last
Okay.
question of the icebreakers.
Yeah.
Do you think that 7 really ate 9?
I feel like 7 was probably mysteriously connected to 9's disappearance. However, I think the reason they can't find the body is not because 7 ate 9, but instead because 7 has had like 4 other husbands prior to 9 and knows how to
The 7 wives.
the 7 wives of 7. Yeah.
The 7 husbands of Evelyn Hugo.
Of 7 Lynn. Okay, that doesn't work.
Oh, no.
Welcome to the podcast. No, I think it's just, I don't think 7 really ate 9. I think 7 probably poisoned 9 and hid the body really well.
I think 6 is bigoted.
Yeah.
Why is 6 afraid of 7? Did 7 really eat 9?
Okay, 6 has every right to not like 7, but he dislikes 7 for the wrong reason. 6 dislikes 7 because 7's a female. 6 is a misogynist. Like, he doesn't hate her because she's like a murderer and like a husband killer. He hates her because she's a woman. And I take issue with that.
We talk about the real pressing issues here.
Exactly. Our world is changing.
Okay, that was insightful.
Yeah.
I feel like we could make that one into like a film noir.
Yes.
7's the femme fatale.
Double indemnity.
No, exactly. We have to pitch this.
Yeah. Pitching this to Damien Chazelle, who only works in primary colors despite the fact this is a film noir.
That does make sense, though.
I feel like we're kind of on it.
Yeah.
All right. What's next on the agenda?
Okay, next we're going to be talking about the Oscars. So as of today, it is... What day is today?
February 11th?
February 11th, and the Oscars are in March.
Yes.
So we're a little ahead, but we have some thoughts about the nominations and who we think will win. So we're going to go up and down our lists and compare who we think. Do you have any, like, overall reactions to the Oscars list?
I mean, well, first of all, I love the Oscars. I'm an Oscars defender, like, till the day I die, even though they're so wrong, like, 75%.
Oscars apologist.
I literally am an Oscars apologist. Like, I'm such an award show girl. Like, it's crazy. Loving the representation and for everything everywhere all at once.
Mm-hmm.
Stand by. Claire Foy should have gotten a nomination for Women Talking.
Mm-hmm.
I will stand by that. Love the surprise inclusion of Triangle of Sadness.
I
in
do.
A lot of,
they had a
lot of
few
categories.
nominations that I was happy about. We'll talk about whether they'll win or not, whether they will actually win.
Yeah, we'll get there.
But no, I was happy to see that because that's a deserving film.
You know what, though? I was, like, as I was making my list, I realized that it's the sign of adulthood that I can now relate to, maybe not relate to, but I now have seen more of the movies geared towards adults than the movies geared towards the kids.
Exactly.
Like, I haven't seen, like, any of the animated features. Like,
And
not
that's-
even Turning Red.
That
And
used
that's,
to be
like,
the only one I knew.
and that was the only one that I was, like, sure about every
Is this
single time.
adulthood?
Ew, we're adults.
No, we're not. We are not.
I mean, like, legally, probably, but...
Yeah. I mean, I was excited to see all the nominations. There are a few people that got completely snubbed. We will get into that.
Facts. Actually, facts.
Compared to some other people, but
Literally.
we could get started.
All right.
So, the first one I have pulled up is actor in a leading role.
Okay.
So, the nominees were Austin Butler for Elvis, Colin Farrell for The Banshees of Inisherin.
I think that's
Yeah. Brendan Fraser for The Whale, Paul Mescal for Aftersun, and Bill Nighy for Living. I have only seen 2 of these movies.
Great. We're so qualified,
We're very
guys.
qualified. But I feel like they're the only 2 that could actually win.
Yeah, they are the only 2 that kind of count right now.
Yeah. So I put that Brendan Fraser will win for The Whale.
Yeah, so I also put that Brendan Fraser would win. And then I wrote down, like, who I thought would win if they didn't win underneath that. And so obviously Austin Butler.
Austin Butler was so good in Elvis.
Mm-hmm.
Brendan Fraser was just better.
Brendan Fraser's role made me feel something.
It did.
Like, you can ask Nikki, I sobbed. For, like, the last, like, half hour of that movie, the 2 of us were just, like, sobbing.
That is the hardest I've ever cried in any movie ever.
I
I've
think
never
s-
actually
yeah.
had...
Well, 80 for Brady.
She did cry during 80 for Brady.
That's a whole thing.
But I cry during movies a lot, but I was, like, actually sobbing.
Yeah, like, it was so
And that
much.
was the second time I saw it.
Yeah. It was a lot, and I'm very happy that Brendan Fraser has returned to the the cinematic universe of the Oscars.
Yeah.
And the cinematic universe of cinema.
And I feel like it says something, too, that he could elicit that response from people from an original character as opposed to replicating a human.
Well, to be fair, it wasn't
Like,
play.
Yeah, but, like...
But, yeah, it wasn't...
It's not, like, studying a person, learning the mannerisms, which is also very impressive. But I feel like there's just, like, the added thing to feel something so much for a person you don't even know.
Oh, my God, it was so good. It was so good.
My mama died. Yeah,
Alright.
not a big fan of Elvis. We can get into that. It's okay.
So next on my list, I have leading actress. I don't have the nominees written down. Can you?
Yeah,
can you
so
read
we
off
have
the nominees?
Kate Blanchett for Tar, Ana de Armas, Blonde, Andrea Riseborough. I'm going to mispronounce so many of these, by the way.
That's fine.
Michelle Williams for The Fabelmans, and Michelle Yeoh for Everything Everywhere All at Once.
It's going to Michelle Yeoh. It's going to Michelle Yeoh.
And if it doesn't, I'm starting a riot.
She is more than deserving of. I mean, I have second on the list is Kate Blanchett. I feel like a lot of people thought she was going to be like she was just going to like take it home easily, and then Michelle Yeoh got nominated. And like if it doesn't go to Michelle Yeoh, there's no way. Like there's literally no way. She was absolutely fantastic.
We recently saw this movie like 3 days ago, well, a few days ago, and it is so amazing. I started making my who I thought was going to win days before we saw it, and I had to change almost every single one of my guesses because of that movie.
Because every single person in that movie was just on, like, all the time.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, but, like, hot dog fingers lesbian, I mean, like,
yeah,
she was
there's only so much she was given.
She kind of ate. Like, for what she was given,
she ate.
She ate.
She slayed.
She slayed. I'll give her that. She ate.
No, Michelle Yeoh has to win. Can we think about, though, the other people that were not included in this list, such as, I forget her name and I feel bad, from Till.
Danielle Detweiler, I think?
I think so.
No,
and
she was...
Also, from The Woman King.
Viola Davis?
Viola Davis.
Okay, I heart Viola Davis. Like, Viola Davis is, like, one of my favorite performers of all time. She's, like, the only performer that I think is consistently good in literally every single thing that she has produced. Even, well, I'm pretty sure she was in, like, The Suicide Squad or something. Even that best part of that entire movie was Viola Davis. Like, I love this woman. And the fact that she was not nominated, the fact that there is no black women nominated. And their performances were great.
They were so great.
They were so good.
I heard so many good things about The Woman King, and I never got to see it because... Well, I heard on Instagram because the person that originated the role of Tina Turner on Broadway was in that movie.
Yes.
And so I saw all of these clips, and it looked amazing. And I was shocked when they didn't get nominated. And I wouldn't be saying that if all of the nominees were deserving.
That's true. Perfect segue.
Ana de Armas.
Literally the most offensive movie I've ever seen in my entire life was Blonde.
Hollywood keeps digging up Marilyn Monroe's grave and just spitting on it.
Have you seen Blonde?
No.
I was just out of curiosity.
I've only seen, like, clips of it. I refuse to actually watch the whole movie.
I got, like, 15 minutes into it, and I quickly realized what it was going to be, and I was not a fan, to say.
It's awful.
The very least. It was so bad. And, like, again, I get you can only kind of work with, like, what you're given, but just because you maybe, if this is what we're going with, just because you maybe do pretty well with what you're given does not mean that you're great in comparison to everybody else.
Absolutely not.
Like, I don't think that nomination was a thing that should have happened. I also just think it's, like, super disrespectful to Marilyn Monroe herself, who was never...
She needs to be left alone.
Yeah, this poor woman needs to rest.
She has such a great legacy, and people try to showcase it in the worst ways.
Yeah, it was so bad. It was, like, so bad.
Like, the dress. Like, can we stop?
No.
Can we let this woman rest in peace?
It was, it's so bad. I'm pretty sure it had, like, an NR rating. And it wasn't for, like, graphic, like, intimacy scenes. It was for graphic scenes of sexual assault. Which, like, not necessary in any film, but, like, let alone one based on the life of a real person.
Like, there is a difference between awareness and exploitation. And they did not pick awareness.
And they exploited. They said exploitation.
She does not. I don't blame her entirely. I know she should have had some awareness of what she was doing.
Oh, yeah.
But she didn't write the script. So it's not even like I'm trying to, like, dog on Ana de Armas. It's not.
But, like, a little bit.
A little.
Like, a little bit.
I'm blaming
The director.
the Academy.
Yeah, that's true.
Why is the Academy awarding this type of behavior in film?
Not an Oscars apologist for that one.
No.
That was their mess up.
I do not support Oscars wrongs.
But it do support women's roles. All right.
Okay. The next one I have actor in a supporting role.
Okay.
So, I can't say it.
I think it's Ki Hui Kwan or Ki Hui Kwan.
Ki Hui Kwan from Everything Everywhere All at Once. Brendan Gleeson from The Banshees of Inisherin. Brian Tyree Henry, Causeway. Judd Hirsch, The Fablemans. And Barry Keoghan from The Banshees of Inisherin. Another
I think we
Everything
all know
Everywhere
what's
All
going
at
to- yeah.
Once. It has to go to Ki Hui Kwan.
I think so.
I hope
Or
I'm
Ki
saying
Hui
that right,
Kwan,
because
yeah.
he was amazing.
I just, in another life, I would have really liked to just do laundry and taxes with you, is the single most heartbreaking
Heartbreaking?
line I've ever heard in my entire life.
It is beautiful. Like,
So good. And he was amazing. He was amazing.
he's so emotional and funny, and the stunts are
and
done
just
so well.
sweet. Like, he's like a nice guy. Like, you want things to work out for him. And, like, oh, God, I just love him.
I was so attached to that character.
No.
And I'm absolutely biased because I didn't see any of these other movies, and I'm so against the Banshees of Inisherin for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know why. Do you just, like, hate Irish people?
Maybe.
Well, then we can't do this anymore.
Me
my
and
an-
Boston.
my ancestors would not be...
Girl.
my ancestors from, like, the 1200s. Like...
That was just a movie that I feel like was not marketed correctly, and I had no need to go see. I saw the trailer so many times, and every single time I saw it, I lost interest.
That's the thing. I feel like a lot of the movies that were either snubbed or, like, weren't nominated, I feel like a lot of it came down to marketing. Like, I think we kind of have blinders on because we go to the movies so often that we're constantly seeing trailers, but, like, everybody that I've talked to about Babylon just, like, had no idea that the movie was even coming out.
Mm-hmm.
So I think a lot of this comes down to marketing. I do think that if Ki Hui Kwan does not win for Best Supporting Actor, it will go to Brendan Gleeson most likely.
Yeah.
Just because I've heard nothing but great things about the movie, even though I just don't really want to go see it.
I've heard great
Like,
things about it, and I just don't want to go see it for some reason.
I feel like it's one of those movies that I'm gonna kind of mature with, like, over time. Like, I think I'm gonna get to a point where I'm gonna be like, yeah, that was like a really good movie. But, like, for now, I need to just be in my
Yeah, I've not gotten
angsty
to a
teenage
point.
phase. Yeah.
Every time I saw that trailer, I just lost a little bit more interest until it just started annoying me. Because we go to the movies a lot, and we saw that trailer so many times, and it was not interesting enough. I judge books by their covers. What can I say?
Well, I also think the issue is they didn't really tell you a lot about what it was about.
Yeah.
And, like, I think it worked in some cases. It worked in the case of The Whale, for example, where they only showed the house because that was the only setting. And, like, I think they really kind of made that work. But with this, it was just, like...
The Whale didn't have to market as much because everyone wanted to see what Brendan Fraser was doing.
But also, yeah, I just don't think that the style of we're not going to give too much away necessarily worked for the marketing. At least for us. Like, I'm not going to speak for anybody else, but, like, I don't know. I think the trailer was just not... It wasn't something that made me want to go see it, I guess is the best way to describe it.
At some point, I probably will come back
Yeah,
and visit it. But seeing the trailer and then finding out it was a comedy...
Oh, that was the other thing that really threw me off, like, during the Golden Globes.
If you've never seen the trailer for the movie, it has no comedic element to it.
Yeah, I didn't
whatsoever.
think it was funny at
like,
all.
maybe it's satire, but you wouldn't be able to realize that because there's no context.
Yeah, I didn't understand that. But again, like...
But I heard it's a great movie.
Oh, it's got, like, 90-something% on Rotten Tomatoes, or something crazy like that.
We'll have to come back to it, but
And
right now...
I feel like if it wins an Oscar, I mean, we're gonna have to watch it.
Yeah.
But until or unless...
And then we can admit how we're wrong.
Yeah, we're gonna come back and admit that we're wrong.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. I have supporting actress next.
Yes.
So, this one's a little bit confusing for me because... Well, do you want to read out the nominees first?
Angela Bassett, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. I don't know how to say her name.
Stephanie Hsu?
No.
Oh, Hong Chow.
Hong Chow from The Whale.
I think. I'm not sure.
Carrie Condon, the Banshees of Inisherin. Jamie Lee Curtis, Everything Everywhere All at Once, and then Stephanie Hsu from Everything Everywhere All at Once.
So for me, this was probably the toughest category to determine, in my opinion. I would say even more than Best Actor, Best Picture, rather, because I felt like my personal bias was getting in the way of what I think will actually win. Because I want Stephanie Hsu to win. I want her to win more than anything.
And I don't think she will.
And I don't think she will. I think it will go to Angela Bassett. Because she won the Golden Globe.
And I don't even think because of that. Because Austin Butler won the Golden Globe. I do not think he will win the Oscar.
Yeah, but Brendan Fraser wasn't nominated for a Golden Globe.
Oh, yeah, he was.
He was?
For Best Actor.
Are you sure?
I'm fairly certain, because I remember I kept advocating for him. But
I thought he wasn't nominated. I thought that was, like, the whole thing was that it was, like...
No, he just didn't go.
Oh, well...
Because,
yeah.
The Hollywood Foreign Press was awful to him.
But we're also trying to get into the Hollywood Foreign Press.
Oh, yeah, so...
Yeah, so discard that.
Yeah. We didn't
but also
say
justice for Brendan Fraser, so...
But if we don't get into the Hollywood Foreign Press...
Justice for Brendan Fraser.
Justice for Brendan Fraser.
We're fact-checking.
Yeah, we are. For...
Oh, because it's separated
Actor.
into, like,
Yep.
comedy.
Yeah, for a drama, it was Austin Butler versus Brendan Fraser, basically.
Okay.
And Austin Butler won, which I wasn't sure who was going to win the first one, but I really feel like Brendan Fraser has to win the Oscar.
Yeah, I feel like he'll win the Oscar.
But in that vein, I don't think Angela Bassett will win because she won the Golden Globe, but rather, she just is such a powerful actress in that film in a way that's, like, not seen in Marvel movies as much.
I'm going to be so honest. Because Angela Bassett was fantastic in this role. The only powerful or Oscar-worthy moment in my head is when she's like, and my entire family is gone, have I not given everything? I don't think one scene should win you an
That's
Oscar.
fair.
And, like, it's not that she wasn't fantastic, because she was, but also, at the same time, I don't think Marvel movies are on the same... level as literally any of the other movies on this list. And so I think Angela Bassett will win. Good for her. Heart Angela Bassett. I do really want it to go to Stephanie Hsu, but I don't even think she's in second place. Like, I think if Angela Bassett doesn't win, it's going to go to Carrie Condon.
Yeah, because when you see Everything Everywhere All at Once, no one comes out of it being like, oh my gosh, Stephanie Hsu was amazing.
Like, she really was.
No, everyone goes like Michelle Yeoh.
Yeah.
Because she is the focal point of that film. And as much as I think Stephanie Hsu was great, like, that wasn't my first thought whatsoever.
Yeah, so I would love for her to win. I just don't
think she will.
Which is sad, but...
Yeah. I hope she gets... I mean, it's an honor to be nominated, but...
Of course. I'm so glad she was nominated, though. Like, I'm so glad. I love that movie.
Okay. Animated feature film.
Oh, jeez.
So we have Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, Marcel the Shell with Shoes On,
Okay.
Puss in Boots, The Last Wish,
Made me cry.
The Sea Beast, and Turning Red. This category makes me very happy to vote for. If Turning Red wins, then the Oscars clearly has a bias towards Disney.
Not Turning Red.
I think Puss in Boots is going to pull out a weird win.
I really want Puss in Boots to win. I sobbed during that movie. Like, I cried so hard. Like, not obviously as hard as the whale, but, like, who would have thought that my personal mental health journey would be reflected in that of a cat? Like, who would have thought? But you know what? They did it, and they made it work, and it was was so sweet, and I love that movie.
I heard so many great things about this movie in a way I've never heard about an animated film.
Literally. It doesn't have, like, a higher Rotten Tomatoes rating than Avatar: The Way of the Water or something like that.
Hopefully.
Probably.
Because Disney and Pixar have gotten too comfortable.
Too much.
They have. I've literally said this before in my classes when we were analyzing films and stuff. Because Disney and Pixar think that they will automatically win because they are the big name, they are the big company, and they are going to win. They always do.
And they have a history of doing really well.
Yeah. Turning Red does not deserve to win. Who's the last person that you've heard say, you know what was a good movie? Turning Red.
I've never seen it. Like, I haven't seen it. I don't even know what it's about, if I'm being honest. I really just have no knowledge.
All it has going for it is that Billie Eilish and Phineas have a song in it.
What is this movie about?
It's like a... It's nothing.
Okay.
was nothing worth watching. They, like, gave up.
No.
They gave up and thought they would win. And it tries to go for inclusivity, but there's no point in inclusivity if you're not going to develop your characters.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. Inclusivity for inclusivity's sake is not
Not.
inclusivity.
No.
I really want Marcel the Shell with Shoes On to win. I haven't seen it. I don't know what it's about. I really like the title. I think the title is so fun.
Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. We need to watch that.
Yeah, like, I just think that's so cute. And, like, you know, I would
It'd be
be
cute.
I would be remiss if I didn't give it a little shout out.
Yeah.
I think. So, yeah. That's
If
where I'm
Guillermo
going.
del Toro wins, I'm never...
That
you're never going to see me again.
So funny.
Because that's the one that Tom Hanks is in.
No, it's not. It's the other Pinocchio movie. It's not the one.
That's the one.
No, it's not.
No, because Pinocchio, I think of Tom Hanks, and it makes me angry.
Like, Tom Hanks isn't in Guillermo
I
del
don't
Toro's.
care.
Okay, it's got Tom Hanks energy.
It has Tom Hanks energy.
Okay, well, we can go with that.
That makes me upset.
I'm sorry. Shouldn't have mentioned it.
Thank you. You shouldn't have.
I'm sorry. All right, moving on. Cinematography?
Yes. So we have All Quiet on the Western Front, Bardo, False Chronicle of a Handful of Truths, Elvis, Empire of Light,
Oh my god.
and Tar.
Okay, first of all, I do need to say this. I feel like this is a very weird Oscars year in the sense that so many films are being nominated that, like, weren't released, I feel like. Or were, like,
Yeah.
released earlier in the year. So I haven't seen a lot of those movies. I do, however, believe that Elvis will prevail. I think it has to. It's a Baz Luhrmann film. It's
I
known for
figured.
its cinematography.
There is a weird part of me, though, that's like, you know what? Empire of Light is going to pull this
No.
one out. And I know. I think Elvis should win. And my brain's telling me that Empire of Light will.
Listen, if Empire of Light wins, honestly, good for them.
Yeah.
Like, zero marketing. Olivia Colman, you're good.
Awful song.
I wanna go home.
It's so camp.
It's so camp. It's so camp.
But, I mean, it's an even race.
Between movies we haven't really seen.
No, I saw Elvis too many times.
Oh,
Literally too many times.
I saw it once.
Ugh. I should have only seen it
The
once.
weirdest day of my life.
Okay. Costume design. So, Babylon, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, Elvis, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris.
See, I love the costume design category because they always have, like, the very niche period pieces in this, and I think that's where I thrive. So, honestly, I don't think they're going to win, but God be my witness, if Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris wins an Academy Award for costume design, I will be standing up and cheering.
Oh my god.
I will cheer. I will cheer.
But you know they can't because you know who has to win?
Elvis.
Babylon.
I don't think Babylon's
I
gonna win.
want Babylon to win.
I want
so
Babylon to win. I
badly.
don't think they're going to.
I'm manifesting.
I don't think they have, like what are, like, the crazy outfits that they have? I think the craziest, most impressive outfit is Jean Smart's outfit.
It's just like the party scene in general.
Where
in the beginning of the
everybody's
movie.
naked?
No.
Where there's no
You're
costumes?
telling me Margot Robbie's dress that's on, like, the movie poster and everything
the
is
pink,
not...
the pink one, the magenta
The red one, yeah.
Is it red?
I think it's red.
Well, I thought it was magenta. Anyway, not important. But one costume doesn't win you an award. Literally,
But I want
this
it
is
to.
Brad Pitt wearing a
Okay.
tuxedo for 3
Stop.
hours straight.
Shush.
I'm right.
No, he also wears the armor.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
God forbid.
I mean, I could tell you who's not winning, and that's Black Panther, Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris, and Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Okay, yeah, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Their costumes, the costumes that they did have were very well done and very cool, but I don't think they were outlandish enough for it to
No.
win. I think it's gonna go to Elvis. I'm gonna be honest. I really do think it's gonna go to Elvis. What do you have? Do you have Babylon?
I do. I'm manifesting.
But the Academy hates Babylon.
I know they do. Everyone hates Babylon.
Except for us.
Except for us.
We do love Babylon.
Go watch Babylon. Stream Babylon.
Yeah, literally go see Babylon if you haven't already.
Go see it. Get those box off. Give more money to Brad Pitt,
Yeah,
please.
but also don't go with your parents.
Do not. I might, but do not.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Well,
fun.
I feel like you could.
It's a good movie.
Yeah, I feel like your parents are like they're chill with that. I feel like it'd be really awkward if I went with my
It has
parents.
the same vibe as a Quentin Tarantino film, without the guilt of knowing that you're watching a Quentin Tarantino film.
Yeah.
For the next category, I have directing.
Okay.
So there's The Banshees of Inisherin. I feel like every time I say The Banshees of Inisherin, a part of me dies.
You get like streaks of gray hair.
Yeah.
Like, we're gonna be like old by the
I'm
end of
balding.
this. Yeah, literally.
You can't see, but I'm balding at the moment. Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Fabelmans, Tar, and Triangle of Sadness. Now, I would love for Triangle of Sadness to win, but you know it's not Triangle of Sadness.
Yeah. It's gonna go to Everything Everywhere All at Once, and if it doesn't, then it should. Okay.
Steven Spielberg
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
always has a way.
So, okay, as an Emerson student, I am in love with the Daniels. I think they're great. I'm going to root for them for whatever they do. Same thing with Jennifer Coolidge. She can do no wrong. Same thing with Zach Kornfeld of the Try Guys. He can do
Maria
no wrong.
Menounos.
Maria Menounos. Not Bill Burr. I don't like Bill Burr. Norman Lear.
These are all Emerson
Yeah.
alumni, by the way.
Yeah, they're all Emerson alumni. So, like, come to Emerson, you know?
No.
Don't do that. Don't come to Emerson. So I really do think that Everything Everywhere All at Once has a very good shot of pulling it out. However, if there's one movie it's going to lose to, it's The Fabelmans.
Yes.
Because it's Steven Spielberg's like life story, and for some reason people are like Academy Award.
Yeah.
I don't see it personally.
People love him. They eat that up.
I like Steven Spielberg. I just like Everything Everywhere All at Once more. Like,
Yeah.
you know? So, I don't know, but I really want the Daniels to win. I think that will be so good if
I
that
hope
movie
they
can win.
do, but I feel like at this point we're saying that they won too many, and they're gonna give it to The Fabelmans, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, but I feel like they could sweep. Like, there are years where
Yeah.
things sweep. And
I
like,
hope it does.
I think that movie had enough cultural significance that
Mhm.
that I think it could pull out a sweep.
Yeah. The next one I have is film editing.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, The Banshees of Inisherin, Elvis, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Tar, and Top Gun Maverick.
Remember when I said like 5 minutes ago that a lot of different movies were being nominated? I lied. It's like the same 5 right now.
Top Gun Maverick gets to shine in this category.
If Top Gun Maverick wins, I'm not doing this podcast anymore. I'm quitting.
If Tom Cruise gets to accept an award.
No, I didn't think he like did because of Scientology stuff.
Oh my god.
No, seriously.
Seriously?
Yeah, I didn't think that was like. I mean, it could be wrong. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. Don't sue me.
It's on the record.
It's alleged. All alleged, of course.
But I originally, before I saw Everything Everywhere All at Once, I was like, Elvis.
It's between Elvis and everything.
It's so difficult because Baz Luhrmann films are insane.
And they're known for their editing. Like,
Yeah.
that is their thing.
That's the whole point. I didn't like the editing, but I can acknowledge that
It was really good.
it was objectively good.
Yeah.
But Everything Everywhere All at Once had so much going on to it, and it still was so put together
Yeah.
with the editing.
I think this is a category where I have a preference, but I don't have an idea of which of those two will win. Like, again, I would like it to be Everything Everywhere All at Once, just because I really did think that was, like, a great movie, as I've said 500 times before this, but I could understand it going to Elvis, so.
Yeah. At the same time, though, I feel like we're picking the flashiest editing, and a film like Tar could have had beautiful editing, because real, actually good editing is when you can't notice that it's there. And that it's so, like, seamless.
Yeah, I can see that.
But I don't think it will win, because it's more eye-catching with the insane Baz Luhrmann editing.
Yeah, that's true.
But, yeah, it's either Elvis or Everything Everywhere All at Once. I'm looking at my guesses, and I'm now thinking it might go to Elvis.
I really don't want it to. I mean, no, that's a lie. It's not that I don't want it to. I just, again, really just like Everything Everywhere All at Once. Oops.
And then we have an international feature film. We have not seen any of these movies.
Oh, yeah, you gotta read them off, because I did.
All Quiet on the Western Front.
Oh, yeah.
Argentina, 1985. Close. E.O. The Quiet Girl. I haven't seen it, but the trailer for Close is beautiful.
Okay, I could totally be wrong. Didn't Argentina 1985 win?
It did win.
It did win, and also All Quiet on the Western Front.
A lot of nominations.
A lot of nominations in categories that are not for international films. It's
Yeah.
also a remake, I think.
I'm not sure.
I think
could
it's a
look that up.
remake, which they always love.
Yeah.
But Close, the trailer for Close looked so good. I didn't even know that it was out. Like, I'm surprised that it was, like, a candidate for this Oscar season.
Well, I'm not sure if it's out in the U.S. yet.
Oh.
It could be. I know they weren't showing it anywhere near us.
It's true. Oh, Boston AMC.
I'm not sure if I could find if All Quiet on the Western Front
Let
is
me-
a...
Let me do a quick Google search real quick.
Yeah.
A quick Google search real quick. How's that for words? Okay.
No, but I hope Close wins just because of how beautiful it looked. I would love to see that movie if they
Okay.
ever show it near us.
All Quiet on the Western Front, 1930 film. All Quiet on the Western Front, 1979 film.
Oh no.
All Quiet on the Western Front, novel. All Quiet on the Western Front, 2022.
It's like A Star Is Born.
Oh no! I love A Star Is Born.
Oh god.
Anyway,
But I hope Close wins.
I know. I would agree. I really want Close to win.
Yeah.
Don't know if it will, but
Then we have makeup and hairstyling. So that's All Quiet on the Western Front.
Oh my gosh.
The Batman.
oh my god, I forgot about the Batman.
Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, Elvis, and The Whale. I can't remember. I think I saw The Batman twice.
That's unfortunate.
No.
You know when I saw the Batman the night of the 2022 Oscars, because I walked out of the movie theater and I was sitting in the car looking at Twitter, and the trending hashtag was something to the extent of, "Was that real?"
Oh no.
And it was because of the Chris Rock,
I saw that.
Will Smith incident.
What a time to be watching The Batman.
Yeah,
That's a
literally,
cultural
my
reset.
mom was, like, sending me, like, pictures from our television
Oh
of,
my
like, red
God.
carpet outfits, because that's, like, our favorite thing to do, is look at people and critique their outfits.
Was it worth missing it?
I mean, Zendaya kind of ate, but... What?
I thought you meant... I thought you were trying to say that Zendaya was in the Batman movie.
Oh my
I
god.
got so concerned.
No. Zendaya, her outfit's always kind of eat.
Yeah.
I honestly don't remember anything else. I remember being, like, very confused with some of them, so I guess it kind of was worth missing.
I liked the Batman movie more than I like any other DC movie.
Well, that's not...
Yes.
that's not saying a lot. Like,
The bar is on the floor.
literally.
But no,
Hallel, no.
I genuinely thought it was more interesting because considering I'm not huge into actual Marvel movies at its core. Like, I like the actors and actresses in Marvel movies.
You like Tom Hiddleston.
I like Tom Hiddleston. That's true. But I'm not a big Robert Pattinson person.
Okay.
And I liked the Batman movie. A lot of people had some hate for it. And of course, as with any 3-hour movie, it can always be shorter.
I just didn't understand a lot of things. Like, the whole... Like, why was Zoe Kravitz walking on, like, a sim?
Because she's pretty.
Okay, but I didn't get it. Also,
She
the
started
fact...
speaking Simlish.
I think it's so funny that this movie is nominated for, like, makeup and hairstyling.
There's none.
Because just, he has, like, the black eyes. Oh, wait a minute. Doesn't the Penguin have, like, some weird...
Oh, he probably has a prosthetic.
Yeah, that's probably included in the makeup.
It's just the
But
nose.
still, like, other than that, I mean...
Which, speaking of which, who I think is going to win is Elvis because of Tom Hanks' awful prosthetics that he wears.
I will be your mother now, my boy.
I think he will win because of the hairstyling for Elvis
Yeah.
and the makeup that they put on him.
Even just Priscilla. Like, even...
Priscilla, yeah.
Priscilla's, like, outfits...
She had
like,
great hair, like the
great.
bump it.
Not the bump it.
No, but because of the Colonel, his face is all droopy and stuff.
Weird.
I hate how it looks, but I think that's enough.
I mean... Again, I think we'd be remiss without mentioning the whale. And, like...
Yeah.
The thing about the whale is that none of its costumes were, like, anything revolutionary except for the prosthetic used on Brendan Fraser, which I think is completely and entirely impressive. I don't
Yeah.
think it's enough to win against a movie like Elvis where the makeup and hairstyling was so consistent throughout.
Yeah.
Because it was...
Throughout multiple characters
Yeah.
as well. And because it's specific to different time periods,
Exactly.
keeping
It's
up
like
with
a period
that.
appropriate thing. But I think that prosthetic was crazy. Like, it was crazy well done. And, like, you couldn't even tell, like, that
No.
it wasn't, like, him. Like, that was crazy. Take a shot every single time I say the word crazy.
Crazy.
It's crazy.
Okay, and then music original score.
We're
Now,
in
this is
agreement
our
with this one.
favorite category because it's our best shot.
Yeah. So
So-
we're definitely getting something on this list right.
So we have All Quiet on the Western Front, Babylon, The Banshees of Inisherin, Everything Everywhere All at Once, and The Fabelmans. Please, can this be the one category that Everything Everywhere All at Once does not win?
Yeah,
so
please.
that Babylon can.
Justin Hurwitz is one of the greatest composers I think I have ever had the fortune of, like, listening to. Like, his music is absolutely phenomenal. It was good for Whiplash. It was good for La La Land. It was
Yeah.
great for Babylon. Like,
It's beautiful.
I listened to it, like, in my free time.
No,
like, I went
seriously.
back and, like, listened to the soundtrack. Like, Manny and Nelly's theme.
When we saw this movie together for the first time on the drive home, we only listened to the soundtrack to this movie.
That's true.
That was one of our main takeaways was, oh my god, the score.
Yeah.
It's so...
Voodoo Mama?
Voodoo
Mama.
Once
Insane.
again, go out and watch Babylon immediately.
And if you can't, listen to it, please.
Listen to the songs because they are beautiful.
It's so well done. It is so well done. Oh my god, I love those two men working together. It makes my entire life. I'm actually watching La La Land tonight, so
Yeah.
so excited.
It's the music is so great, and I really hope that Babylon wins music, if anything.
But the thing about the music that's so good is that the music is like, I feel like if I just listen, like if you give me a basic premise of the movie and I listen to the soundtrack, I feel like I could kind of follow along with the story. Like I feel like the music, the thing that makes Damien Chazelle's work so great is that his directing and the music, like, they kind of weave together and they become one. Like, I don't think you can have one without the other, in the way that I think you could take some of the music out of some of these other movies and replace them and it would still work.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think they're just so... Is homogenous the right word to use here? I'm not sure, but I want to sound cool. But, like, they kind of merge and become one, and I really love him, and I'm such a music nerd, and yeah.
That's fair.
Love Babylon. Heart Babylon. Anyway...
Another fun category, music original song. So I don't have... Oh, okay. I do have what they're from. So we have Applause from Tell It Like a Woman. Hold My Hand from Top Gun Maverick.
Oh my gosh.
Lift Me Up from Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Natu Natu from RRR. And This Is a Life from Everything Everywhere All at Once. Now, I never thought I would see the day where Mitski is up for an Oscar.
I love Mitski so much. I love you, Mitski.
She's not winning.
If you're listening to this for some reason, I heart you.
Love Mitski? No way.
I mean, I think the top two are either going to be... It's either going to be Natu Natu from RRR, just
Or
because...
Lift Me Up.
Just because, again, it won in the past. It's... Even, we listened to that...
It's
We
a
listened
good
to
song.
we listened to that song before recording.
I don't know what they're saying.
Yeah, and we got, like, kind of into
I
it,
was like,
honestly. Like,
hey.
it was really good. But also Lift Me Up, just being sentimental. It's Rihanna's, like, first song in however
her
many years.
comeback.
Like, yeah, like, not that she ever really left in the first place. But,
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's probably between Rihanna and RRR.
But also, not to forget, I hope it doesn't win. The Academy loves Lady Gaga.
I mean, I also love
Loves
Lady
Lady
Gaga.
Gaga.
Not in the context of
But
Top
if
Gun
Top
Maverick.
Gun Maverick wins, no thank you.
Did Top Gun Maverick get the same amount of nominations as Babylon?
I wouldn't be surprised if it got more.
That's so upsetting. Like, honestly,
It really
that's
is.
That's a little bit sad to me.
No, but I really hope Rihanna wins. That song is so good. Also, listen to that song. If you have the free time, go out
Seriously.
and listen to this Rihanna song. It's great. And even with the context of the actual movie, beautiful.
Made me cry.
Yeah.
Made both of us cry.
Made the
very
whole theater
hard.
cry.
Yeah.
Writing, adapted screenplay. So we have All Quiet on the Western Front.
This movie. It's all quiet on the Western Front all the time.
Glass Onion, A Knives Out Mystery, Living, and Top Gun Maverick, and Women Talking. Women Talking has to win.
So I was telling Nikki, I read the book for Women Talking. I just finished it. And, okay, so I'm going to geek out a little bit here because, again, I just read this book. The way that they were able to, like, again, the context of the book is that the book is told from the perspective of August, played by, I think, Ben Winshaw. I think that's his name. And so he's writing down all the minutes, and he's also kind of injecting some of his own memories and some of his things that happen in his life throughout the minutes. And it's a very, all-telling story, and it's very well done. But the way that they were able to take the same thing and transition it to be from the perspective of one of the young girls, keeping the integrity of the entire piece, crazy. Also, a lot of the dialogue used in the movies is just directly taken from the book, and it works.
Yeah.
Like, it works so well. I think Women Talking is a very well done movie.
Yeah.
Severely underrated this
We
award
will
season.
have an episode just talking about women talking.
Just talking about women
Just
talking.
talking about women talking. And also an episode about Babylon.
Of course.
But yeah, I really hope this wins because, again, I'm biased because the only other movie I saw from this list is Top Gun Maverick. So
What were
I
the
hope
other
Women
nominees?
Talking. Living,
Never heard of
Glass Onion.
It's not going to be Glass Onion.
No,
I love
and
Glass
All Quiet on the Western
I
Front.
did love Glass Onion, though. Like, I don't know how it scored an Oscar nom, but I really did love Glass
Yeah.
Onion. It was really good.
But Women Talking has to
Oh, but
win.
Women Talking is superior.
And then we only have two more. So second to last is Writing Original Screenplay. So we have The Banshees of
Oh
Inisherin.
my gosh.
That
It's everywhere.
I got another gray hair.
Yeah, she's aging, guys.
Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Fabelmans, Tar, and Triangle of Sadness. Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah, like, once again, everything.
But if
Everywhere
it
All at Once.
wasn't there, I would say with confidence Triangle of Sadness.
You think it's gonna win?
If Everything Everywhere All at Once wasn't an option, yes. It's brilliant.
I would agree that it's brilliant.
It's so different from anything I'd seen before.
Well, it's a foreign film, which I think, like, also helps out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just so interesting because, I love movies that are separated into acts and
Oh,
parts.
yeah, that's-
Which is why I like Everything Everywhere All at Once as well, and, like, anything like that. Or Kill Bill for...
Yeah, not Kill Bill.
No, seriously, but I love it when it's separated into acts or parts. It makes it much more theatrical.
True. Agreed.
And it gave an element to Triangle of Sadness that was just so interesting that I wanted to know what was coming up, what's happening. It was just something I'd never seen before, and it was funny. Original characters. I loved it. And I wish it wasn't going up against such a strong film as Everything Everywhere All at Once.
That being said, I also don't think we can discount The Fabelmans. Like, again, I don't want it to win over Everything Everywhere All at Once, or Triangle of Sadness for that matter. But I do think that
It can't
know,
win.
I don't think-
There's no way.
I don't know.
And
But
I'm
again,
saying
it's
that
Steven
not
Spielberg.
I'm saying no way in a way that I couldn't believe it. Not that it couldn't happen.
in a way that you refuse to acknowledge it.
Yes.
Got it.
Yeah. It very well could win, but I won't be happy about it.
You know what? Thanks for the honesty.
Of course.
We appreciate it.
I kind of throw that out there a lot. Like, there's no way. There is absolutely a way.
Yeah, there's a very real possibility that it will win.
I'm not qualified in any way to be judging these. There's a
Seriously.
way. There is a way that the Fabelmans could win. I just don't want to believe it.
Facts.
Okay, and we're on to our last one. It's
The
a
big boy.
list.
It's the big boy.
That's the big boy. Best Picture. So we have, once again, All Quiet on the Western Front. We need to see this movie.
We really do. I think it's German
being
film.
nominated too much. German, yeah.
Yeah.
Avatar: The Way of Water. The Banshees of Inisherin.
Oh,
I
got a
just
gray
lost
hair.
half of my head
Oh my god.
of hair. Like,
You look like Jamie Lee Curtis with, like, the white wig.
Elvis, Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Fabelmans, Tar, Top Gun Maverick.
Literally how? I'm sorry. I know we're not done with the list. Literally how did this get nominated for Best Picture?
Triangle of Sadness, and Women Talking. Top Gun Maverick is on there for America propaganda.
Yeah, Top Gun Maverick is on there so that more people join the military. like support our troops by watching Miles Teller in Top Gun Maverick.
And I guess they just had to give James Cameron a nod.
Literally, why? Why?
It makes me so, ugh.
I don't get it. Like, okay, also, for context, I have not seen Avatar. I have not seen Avatar: The Way of the Water.
Oh, before you get into it, we think Everything Everywhere All at Once is gonna win,
yeah,
right?
okay.
We don't have to talk about that movie anymore.
Yeah, we're done with that.
But going on to Avatar, what were you saying?
I just don't care. And, like, I'm not, like, one of those people, like, I don't discount it because it's, like, like, okay, I don't like when people are like, oh, it's the movie about the blue people, blah, blah, blah. Because I obviously do think it's deeper than that.
Yes.
I just don't care. Like, I'm not a sci-fi person. I honestly, like, the CGI is impressive, not enough to keep me as a viewer. Because I feel like I get very visually, like, comfortable, if that makes any sense.
Yes.
Like, once I see something impressive, I'm like, wow, that's really cool. And then, like, 10 minutes later, I'm like, all right.
You've adjusted.
Yeah, like, what else is next? Like, my scale is adjusted. And with that in mind, I don't think it's impressive enough to, like, keep me interested for 3.5 hours. Like, I just don't understand it. I'm not necessarily saying it's a bad film, just not my personal cup of tea. Especially as somebody who does not like sci-fi all that much.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't get it.
My friends know that I've been always very anti-Avatar.
So anti.
Forever. And it's not in a way that, how could anyone like this movie? It's awful. It's not that. It's, I don't believe that enough people like it for it to be the number one
Movie in the world.
movie ever. And I feel like Avatar: The Way of Water being nominated, I didn't see this movie. I'm not going to watch this movie. I can't comment on the content of this film.
Yeah, no idea.
But based on just the purely vibes, this is like if Lord of the Rings was nominated for Best Picture.
It won.
It won?
It won.
Shut.
How do I tell you that? I'm pretty sure, I think...
This doesn't bode well
It was
for
either the
Avatar.
second or third movie.
Stop it.
Took home Best Picture. But also at the
This does not bode well.
Yeah, but, okay, I also have a problem with this movie, like, not being considered an animated movie, and not just in the context of Best Picture, it literally is animated. Like, it is an animated movie. It is entirely CGI. And sure, you use motion capture. You still, like, animate everything else on top of it. Like, it's an animated movie. Why don't we consider,
Are
like...
there actual people in it?
Yeah, like, well, Zoe, I know, like, Zoe
So-
Saldana, I've seen, like, videos of her with, like, the motion capture thing on. Like, they act through it, and then, like, they kind of, like, render over it.
No, but I mean, like, there's, in the first one, there's, like, people in it.
Oh, well, we haven't seen it, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But, like... It's
Yeah, and it's
still-
a primarily
it's-
CGI film.
Yeah, like, I just... Again, impressive, not enough to keep me...
I feel like now, like, I guess not enough come out in a year to make it a category, but at some point we should have animated / CGI.
Yeah, I mean, like, we have animated feature film, but again, I feel like that's...
Because Avatar, I can admit, is a beautiful film.
It's a better animated film than Marcel the Shell would choose on.
Like, it should.
It would win.
It should get recognition because it was groundbreaking when it first came out.
Agreed.
And it's still pushing boundaries, like, in animation and CGI now. So it could win as a CGI category film or something like that. Just not Best
Just
Picture.
not Best Picture.
Like, you're not even giving it a chance.
Well,
Ugh.
maybe we are. Thanks, Lord of the Rings. Thank you. Thank you.
Shout out Lord of the Rings.
Thanks, Peter Jackson. Any
God,
other
I love Frodo and Avatar.
favorite character?
But we think Everything Everywhere All at Once will win.
Yeah,
Because it's just hard to beat. It's beautiful. It's amazing. It's stunning visually and emotionally.
And I just don't think anything else. I mean, honestly,
a story about Steven Spielberg just can't beat that.
I'm not, like, super interested. Like, I said kind of from the beginning that I wasn't really interested in The Fabelmans. I'm sure it's a great movie, just not something that particularly interests me. And we did kind of start our whole AMC journey pretty late into award season, so
Yeah.
I think it's kind of on us. But, honestly, I think the only movie that comes emotionally even close to this is Women Talking, which is not going to win, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I don't think it's got enough of any, like, it's, acting wise, it's, like, stacked. I think there's a lot of heavy hitters in that movie, everybody kind of slays, but I don't think it doesn't have the draw that a movie like Everything Everywhere All at Once does, and I think that is a big part of how they decide what the best picture is.
I'm just now realizing I have seen half of these movies in Best Picture,
Okay.
which
well,
feels nice.
Yeah.
This has never happened to me before.
I really like Triangle of Sadness.
I love if it came out in a worse year.
That's, yeah, like, listen, Triangle of Sadness would have beat Nomadland, I think.
Absolutely.
I think a lot of things on this list could have beat Nomadland.
Almost everything that's nominated, besides Top Gun Maverick.
And maybe Avatar Way of the Water. But, yeah, I think, yeah, I don't know. I like Triangle of Sadness. I don't think it has enough to win.
How is Top Gun Maverick nominated and not Babylon?
I think Babylon was one of those films that was too divisive, because I think people were upset that it wasn't nominated. I think people would have been upset if it was. So I think at that point they were just kind of like...
But no one people are impartial to Maverick.
Well, I mean, I guess. I don't know. I like
people loved the movie. No, those people that loved the movie
don't
are
watch
not
the
going to be
Oscars.
watching
Yeah,
the
they don't
Oscars.
care. I don't know.
The people that watch the movie include, like, my parents and probably every gym teacher I've ever had.
My parents also watched it.
Yeah.
I feel like, I don't know, maybe Babylon was also, like, all about how Hollywood sucks. Like, it's all about how, like, it's, like, it exploits, like, the actors and the actresses, and, like, people are so desperate to, like, get to the top, and, like, of course, like, we'll discuss this more in, like, that episode, and, like, I don't know, I think it just kind of would have been ironic if a movie about how much Hollywood sucks won the biggest award in Hollywood. And I'm not saying that's, like, justifying that it wasn't nominated. I just think they were kind of,
It
like...
would be too self-aware of the
Yeah,
Academy.
I think it'd be too meta. And then they'd be forced to acknowledge that they're kind of...
They'd be forced
kind
to
of an
change.
awful system, yeah.
And
who
they're not
wants to do
ready.
that? Yeah, who wants to do that?
They are not ready to change and acknowledge the things that they do are wrong. Hence why Hollywood Foreign Press still hasn't apologized to Brendan Fraser.
Yeah. Same, like, again, I feel like if they had issued, like, an apology years back, he probably would have won the Golden Globe. But, again, you can't... Yeah. Messy situation.
Awful situation.
Yep.
But that wraps up our Oscar nomination.
After that 45-minute long conversation.
Which everyone really wanted from us.
Well, I mean, you knew what you were getting into when you signed up to this, so sorry.
But don't fret, because we have one more segment before we wrap up this episode.
Also, I'm looking at your list. Sorry, I can, like, see
Don't
it.
look at my list.
Okay.
We're going to be ranking... for every episode after this, we're mostly going to be talking about a movie for at least half the episode. And in depth, talk about everything that we liked, disliked, things that could have been done better, anything like that. But to start off, we're going to be ranking 5 movies that we've seen so that we can compare future movies against these and create, like, a huge compiled list of ranked movies for our podcast.
Yes, because these movies, they're not going to get their own episode, unfortunately. They just came out too long ago, and we just don't have enough time to talk about everything, in addition to the things that are coming out now.
Yeah, so we'll...
Like Cocaine Bear.
Like Cocaine Bear.
Like Cocaine Bear.
Like Magic Mike.
Yeah, of course. The really important
the
movies.
hard-hitting things.
The things that make you think.
Yeah.
You know?
So we're just going to do 5 movies that we've seen, rank them, and then we'll compare them to movies in the future. So the movies that we decided are Triangle of Sadness, My Policeman, She Said, Black Adam, and Bones and All. And then we'll give, like, a small summary of the movie, just so you know.
Can you do the Black Adam one?
Of course. Of course I can. Yeah, we could also mention how many times we've seen each one of these.
Oh, God, yeah.
So, let's start with our number 5 pick. My number 5 pick was Bones and All. Tell me that was yours. No. Emma.
Oops.
Was yours Black Adam?
Yeah.
Emma.
It was such a bad movie. Like, it was funny bad. No. But it was such a bad movie.
Okay. Well, I'm going to talk about... Do you want to talk about Bones and All, and I'll talk about Black Adam?
Sure.
So,
being completely transparent right now, I have Bones and All at 3rd on my list. But let me explain. The script was admittedly a little bit janky in some areas. That being said, I don't think I've ever been more disturbed by a movie, and that was the point. Like, I don't agree.
I have been more disturbed than
Why?
that
What movie?
I watch a lot of horror films.
Okay, well, that's true. I'm also, like, not super into, like, Saw movies. I don't
that's the difference.
I'm not, like, a torture, like, person. Like, I really can't do that.
As someone that has seen all the Saw movies and the Terrifier movies...
Well, I don't mind that. But
it's not the same level of gross. Like, I wasn't disturbed by the content. And I hate that every negative review is disregarded by saying you just can't handle...
Yeah, I would agree. I think that's not an accurate
There are
representation
so
of the
many
movie.
valid criticisms. I'm not saying it's the worst movie ever made. It's just the worst movie on this list for me.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know or haven't seen Bones and All is a movie about a young girl who just so happens to be born a cannibal.
An eater?
An eater. They call them eaters.
Yes.
They don't use the word cannibal.
They kind of treat them as vampires.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird thing. But she's basically, her father abandons her after she turns, 18? Because he can't keep protecting her from eating people.
From herself.
Yeah, from herself. They've been moving around because she, always winds up eating somebody. Like, the opening scene is her biting somebody's finger off. Spoiler alert, I suppose. And then she kind of goes on this journey to find her parents and find her mom, who she, hasn't really met. And along the way, she meets Timothée Chalamet, who's also an eater, and they basically get up to some cannibal antics.
Yeah.
Cannibal antics. Who would have ever thought that was a phrase? I think the movie, the acting was good. I would go as far to say that it was good.
I wouldn't go as far as to say it's good, but it's okay that you do.
I think,
I'm very biased in my list.
it's not going to win any Oscars, obviously. But it was definitely something that kind of, I couldn't look away. That was, the thing that I think really kind of put this at number 3 for me, was, I didn't think it was a great movie by any chance. I gave it a 5 out of 10, but I couldn't look away. I was very interested in, seeing what was happening. And I just thought it was, very, weird and disturbing. I'm still really mad about the sweater that she stained. Really wish she would have done something differently, because it was a really cute sweater. But, I don't know. It's not a movie I would really ever go to watch again, honestly. Mm-hmm. But I for what I saw, it was good, honestly. I thought it was fine. It was, you know what it is? It was marketed to me, and when I watched it, I was like, okay, this is exactly what I thought it was going to be, honestly. The August part was really funny. The ending, everybody thought it was over and then it wasn't. That was really funny.
I saw this one time before I went with Emma to see it. And so I knew everything that was coming up, and I got that extra watch in, and it didn't help. But, yeah, I'm trying not to spoil it. I'm not recommending you watch it, but I think you also should watch it, because it's interesting. I don't like how it's marketed as, a coming-of-age film.
Oh, yeah, I don't like that it was marketed as, a romance film.
I should have known it wasn't going to be great, considering the amount of Instagram ads I've gotten for this movie.
Yeah, it was kind of, I think, you know what I will say? I feel like the trailers were very accurate to what it was going to be, which is mostly how I saw it. The marketing that I saw on social media was not entirely accurate.
I wasn't entirely sure what was happening going into it. I knew it was cannibals.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything else. And it didn't do it for me. I just watched, and it's not that it grossed me out. I feel like I'm fairly desensitized from specifically Terrifier, but I just watched it and I felt nothing watching it. I didn't feel bad for the characters. I had no emotional connection to anyone involved. And I felt like I was just sitting there, and I was very aware that I was watching a movie.
Well, I don't know. I wasn't, emotionally connected to them, I would say. I didn't really care about...
I didn't care what was happening next.
The big thing in, the end. I was like, okay. I was like, yeah, that's, kind of... I was like, oh, that, sucks, I guess. But I was still very interested and very captivated. And I think that was, the thing is that the 2 movies that I have below it didn't really... capture me for any other reason other than the fact that we had previously made jokes about these movies.
Which we can move on to the next level as well. So my number 5 is Bones and All, and your number 5 is...
Black Adam.
Black Adam. I will talk about this one.
It's so funny.
It's hilarious.
But not intentional.
I know it's not a great movie. I'm very aware. But I put it at number 4, just above Bones and All, because I kept going back to watch it. I saw it 4 times. We went to see this movie.
We saw it a stupid amount of times.
We saw this movie on my birthday.
That's true. We did see
that. We went out for my birthday and saw Black Adam after we had already seen it.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
But,
in the
not
worst
intentionally.
Way.
That's,
in the worst
thing.
way. I don't know what it is. Or why The Rock keeps acting.
He doesn't need to do that.
He has enough money. He doesn't need to continue. But the fact that he does says so much about him that is not great. Black Adam is a DC film, and he's an anti-hero. And it takes place where he
shakes up the hierarchy of superheroes.
He's shaking up the hierarchy of superheroes. So he is awoken by a woman. I don't remember any of their names, but he is awoken by a woman who goes into, like, a tomb-esque situation, like, in these pyramids, wakes him up to help out their city, who is being conquered at the moment, like, kind of.
Like, colonized.
Colonized, for sure. And she wants Black Adam to save them. Black Adam isn't entirely a hero, so then they have more DC superheroes. So conflict ensues. They send out more superheroes to stop him and put him back into his slumber, because they're scared of what he may do to the city itself, and that he's not going to be helping anyone, because he's kind of like a vigilante in a way.
Yeah, but he's also, like, iconic.
It's so funny.
No, like, I wasn't trying to be, like, ironic. Like, he actually is iconic. Like, in that city, like, he is, like, their god.
Yeah, he...
like, he is literally iconic.
Like, there is a statue of him and everything, but then you realize he isn't entirely as what everyone thinks.
Yeah.
So that's the whole conflict of the film.
He's not the Teth Adam you thought he was.
No, it's so funny. Noah Centineo's in it for some reason.
I need you to reckon with the fact that you put Noah Centineo above Timothée Chalamet.
Yeah, I did.
That's so incorrect.
Timothée Chalamet was not good.
Yes, he was. He was fine.
No.
Over Adam Smasher.
At least Adam Smasher had his face covered.
Oh my god. No, the one part of Black Adam where he was like, oh, how did you get your wind powers? And she was like, a mad scientist kidnapped me when I was, like, 15. And he was like, oh. Like, I can't tell who's more in the wrong in that situation. Like, her for trauma dumping or him for not even being remotely sympathetic.
If I could just describe in one sentence what Black Adam is, and then we could move on to your number 4 pick.
Of course.
It would be Noah Centineo playing superhero in dimly lit room, walks to the conversation with a bag of brightly colored baked Lays.
They got the sponsorship.
Anyways, let's continue. What's your number 4?
My number 4 is My Policeman.
That's my number 3.
Starring Harry Styles, Emma Corrin. I love Emma Corrin, by the way. They played Princess Diana in The Crown. Love Emma Corrin. I think they're just great.
Yeah.
That being said, this movie did not do anything for me. Like, Nikki and I saw this twice. We took the T and then walked, like, 15 minutes.
This wasn't shown at AMC.
Yeah, to this independently owned theater in the middle of, I don't even know what part of...
No clue.
Of Massachusetts. And we saw it, and we both cried in the end, which I think is I think the ending is wonderful. That being said, I felt like everybody in this movie was just, like, such a bad person.
Yeah.
And, like, I get it. Like, I know that that's kind of what they're going for, but it made it really hard for me to root for anybody because, like, I felt bad for Mary because, like, was her name Mary? Mary?
It was, like, Marianne or something.
Okay,
like
Marianne,
that.
yeah. I felt bad for Marianne because, like, her husband was cheating on her with this other guy, Patrick. What was Harry Styles' name?
We could call him Jack.
Not Jack. Wait. Patrick? I don't even remember. But I felt
his
bad.
name. Harry Styles.
Yeah, I felt bad for Marianne because her husband, Harry Styles, was cheating on her with Patrick.
Oh, yeah, the story is, like, set in Britain, UK, I'm not sure exactly where. In England somewhere.
Yeah, England.
And do you know what time period it is? 70s?
I was thinking, like, 50s or 60s, probably.
It was set, like, a while ago when being gay was illegal.
Yeah.
And the main characters, like, there's 3 main characters, and the woman, the singular woman main character, her husband is gay, but she doesn't know it yet. Yeah. And he's trying not to know it yet either.
So basically the entire, like, again, you feel bad for Marion because her husband is cheating on her with Patrick, but you feel bad for Patrick because he's gay and, like, he can't be open about his love for Harry Styles because it's a very bigoted time. And then, like, you feel bad for Harry Styles because he loves Patrick and he wants to be with Patrick, but he can't, and so he's stuck with Marion. But, like, again, you feel bad for all of these people, and then you realize that, wow, they're all kind of awful. And then for me, like, I can't. Like, again, the scene where I'm not gonna say, okay, that's a spoiler, but, like, the scene in the jail.
Yes.
That's like okay. That was tough to watch. Obviously, that was not easy to watch.
There's very difficult scenes that they really evoke emotion.
They do. They definitely do. But I think that's more because of the way that the story was written and not because of the actors themselves.
I do think I need to read the book.
I would agree.
I really need to read the book because I feel like it would be great. And the acting wasn't phenomenal, but the story itself really got to me, which is why I put it at my number 3. It touched me in a way that Black Adam and Bones and All just didn't do.
Well, I hope Black Adam didn't touch you the same way as this, because that would be really,
That would be awful.
You'd be so shallow if that was the way.
Listen, you cried during 80 for Brady. I don't want to hear it.
I did, because I'm an emotional person, and I thought they were going to kill her off. Your number 4 was... Bones and All?
I was... Number 5 was Bones and All for me.
4.
4 was Black Adam. 3 was My Policeman. And then your 5, we have them, like, inverted, but the top 2 are, like, the same.
Yeah, She Said and Triangle of Sadness are my top 3.
Yeah,
My top 2.
so number 2 was She Said for both of us.
Yes.
Which this was the movie that was based on the novel for the 2 New York Times reporters that...
Jodie Cantor and Megan Twohey.
Yes, that exposed the controversy and the allegations.
Harvey Weinstein sex scandals.
Yeah, the
sexual
allegations.
assault. Yeah. We saw this movie a lot, too.
We did. I think I
2
saw
or
this
3 times,
I saw
right?
this like 4 times.
Oh, yeah, we saw it a lot, basically.
It wasn't great, but it was better than everything else on this list.
Okay, when I think back about this movie, I think about this movie more... I kind of think about it better than it actually was. I kind of reconstruct it. When I'm watching it, I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, why is this person doing this? Like, it's not as good as I
formatted
think.
very odd that it's hard to follow what woman is making what allegation and who is who.
Yeah, and it was just kind of a weird take on it. Like, I feel like the acting was fine, honestly.
Yes.
The woman who, like, played the main survivors who, like, came forward, I thought all of those stories were acted
great.
very well. It was done very respectfully, too.
Yes.
They used, like, live audio, and they didn't have anybody acting over it. They didn't show anything graphic. It was done very, very well.
Yes.
In that regard. That being said, a lot of the scenes that weren't important were the ones that weren't good.
Yeah.
Like, they were just so... Some of them was a little bit...
There were very unnecessary scenes in this movie.
Yeah.
And I would have looked back on it much more favorably if they just were cut out to begin with.
Agreed. It was just kind of weird. The whole beginning is kind of like... I don't want to say a cold open, but
It is.
I guess it is kind of a cold open. It's
the
about...
editing is very cold in general.
Yeah.
It's,
that's the thing.
Yeah.
No scene in this movie lasts more than 2 minutes.
Yeah.
It's really, really weird.
It's disorienting.
It's kind of again, I don't want to keep using the word weird, but it really
confusing.
is.
It's very
confusing. Also, there's I love Carey Mulligan a lot. This woman could not say the word Lenny for her life. Lanny. It was always Lanny. Like Yanny and Laurel, but like
it was.
Like it was so weird. But that being said, I do think the movie was really well done. I think
it grew on me the more I saw it.
That's true. I did like it every time
I had more of an emotional response every time I saw it because it felt more powerful. Once I got past the editing, once I got past some of the lesser important scenes, and I could actually see it at its core, I was appreciative.
The ending, like when they have like the 80 more women came
they have a bunch of statistics at the end and
it's
information.
It's super powerful.
Yes.
That being said, produced by Brad Pitt.
Produced by Brad Pitt.
So,
it could have been better put together, but for what it is, it's not a bad film. And
no, I would agree.
And it's still important.
Yeah, I agree with that statement.
And we'll get into its superior women talking.
Of course.
In another episode. But our number 1, Triangle of Sadness. I'm not going to say much about this movie because I genuinely think that people should go and watch it because I had little information or context to what the movie was going to be about, and I think that made it all much better.
See, this is another one of those movies where I feel like the marketing was done in a way to not let you know what you're exactly going to be watching.
Yeah.
Kind of, not in the same, but in a similar vein to The Whale. And it worked for this one.
The trailer was so interesting and didn't spoil anything. Like, I thought I knew what was going to happen based on the trailer, and I was completely wrong.
And it's surprisingly so funny. Like, it's so funny, but like not laugh out loud funny. Like, it's not
satirical.
Yeah, like but it's so good at being a satire.
Yes.
Like, it's so good at being a satire. I can't even explain it.
The only negative I had from it is I feel like there was a lot of shock value just for the sake of shock value that had no real importance to the storyline. But I got past that fairly quickly. I did tell my dad to not watch it because I thought he would get motion sickness from watching it.
Yeah, that is so fair. That is very fair.
But I really liked this film.
I did too.
I need to rewatch it. It's great. But I'm not going to say much about the plot because I don't want to spoil anything.
I will say, the conversation, I'm not going to go into it, but I feel like the conversation that Woody Harrelson had with one of the passengers on the boat, like that whole thing, was a little too on the nose.
Yeah, they
for
go
my
a
liking.
little in depth about the message of the movie, and they didn't need to.
Yeah, it's like we already understood
They
that.
spell
We got
it out.
that. And like, if you're following the movie, they didn't need to spell it out. Again, I
Yeah.
understand why they did, just to be like very, very clear about what they're doing, but I don't really think they needed to.
They didn't need to at all, and it would have been fine without them spelling out the message. But it didn't affect me so much that I left the theater, like, thinking about that
Oh,
part.
no. That was just like,
Yeah.
like the little nitty-gritty details.
We'll have to decide. Maybe we'll do an episode about Triangle of Sadness, but
Yeah, I feel
it
like
would
if-
be later on.
I feel like if there's like a week or like something where we're not seeing any new movies, I
Yeah.
feel like that would be like a good one to kind of go back on.
But absolutely, I recommend watching it on your own.
Absolutely.
And yeah, I'm fairly certain that's all that we have
That's all that we
for
planned.
this episode. We talked for longer than I thought we were going to talk for.
Yeah, that's a little bit worrying. Got a lot to say.
Yeah, but thank you so much for listening, and our next episode is going to be about Babylon.
Slay.
So excited for that. So watch that before it comes out, please.
Yeah.
Support Margot Robbie and Diego Calva and Brad Pitt, I guess.
Support us. We don't have a Venmo, but we do have
Set up a
hands.
GoFundMe.
Yeah, we do have hands if anybody wants to hand us like $20 here and
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
That would really be great. It doesn't cost us any money to do this. We're just
If
in
someone wants to
college.
mail me Papermate flares so I can continue making pretty notes on movies, that would be great.
I dreamt I was sailing down the Amazon on a pickle with my paper mache children.
No, I will have my P.O. box.
Yeah, my Emerson mailbox. 7176.
But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully we will be in a more professional setting next time in a studio.
Oh yeah, we're actually in the library right now, guys.
We are in the Suffolk Library.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank
Yeah.
you so much for listening.
Alrighty.
Bye.